Hello friends. Today is a very important day in the world of finance, investments and savings. Why it is important? Because there were rates of interest change for some of the schemes. So for the convenience, let's categorize the schemes which had the interest rates changed for this quarter and for the schemes which have not been changed at all. So let's dive into the topic right away. First and the foremost, the most popular PMVVY, Pradhanmantri Vaya Vandana Yojana scheme has been revised. The rates of interest for the scheme has been revised downwards from 7.4% per month to 6.4% per month. This is the most important announcement because there were a lot of customers who were disappointed because this was one of the most popular schemes which had given the best rate of return, a guaranteed rate of return by the government of India for a period of 10 years. We go on to the other things. The rates of interest for various banks in India, both public sector as well as private banks, have been changed. And these are the revised rates of interest. There will be two columns, two rates of interest in the latest FD rates of this one. The first rate of interest would be for 1 year period. The other, which is the second rate of interest, would be for a period of 5 years. So these are the latest rates of interest which have been revised by the government of India with effect from April 1st, 2021. As you would be knowing, that rates of interest are liable for change every quarter of an year. Though it is the discretion of the finance ministry to keep it constant, still they have a discretion of changing it. So I have given in the alphabetical order all the banks in India, including the private banks, what is the present rate of interest for 1 year and for 5 years. So I will leave it to you for having a detailed view of this. Now let me go the other popular schemes which have not got the change in the rates of interest. Finance Ministry had last night announced that there would be a change of interest rates in the small savings schemes, which is sponsored by Post Office. But there was a revised announcement today morning at around 10 o'clock when the Finance Ministry saying that it was an oversight and the rates of interest for the small savings schemes remain unchanged. Meaning the rates of the interest rates for the small savings schemes would remain as it was in the previous quarter till the end of the next quarter, which is June 30th, 2021. So the most popular schemes in this post office in the small savings schemes are NSC, which has unchanged rate of interest for 6.8%. Then the monthly income scheme, which is for 6.66%, remain unchanged. The most popular scheme is Public Provident Fund, which was 7.1%, but it has not got changed. Then you have Kisan Vikas Patra and Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, which had 6.9% and 7.6% respectively. So these rates of interest have not been changed till and will remain constant till June 30th, 2021. There is every possibility that the rates of interest for these schemes will get changed as of 1st July 2021 with the interest rates what was published yesterday night. Meaning 6.4% could be the rate of interest for the Public Provident Fund with effect from 1st July. There could be every possibility that the rates of interest would be slashed down or revised downwards. So people who are interested in investing in these schemes should take appropriate steps to go ahead and invest these schemes because these are guaranteed for those number of years. For example, Post Office monthly income scheme is for 5 years. RD is for 6 years, sorry, there is a typo. Then Public Provident Fund is for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years and 30 years. However, you have to be aware that though the interest rate will be changing, it will be applicable for only 1 quarter. It is not a correct understanding if you think that 7.1% will continue for 15 years or 20 years. Not at all. Post Office will be calculating the revised rates of interest once in a quarter. For example, 7.1% if the rate of interest is there as of today, that is April 1st, this will hold good only till 30th of June. If on 1st of July, Finance Ministry revises the rate of interest for 6.4%, then for that quarter, whatever is your balance in the PPF account will be calculated at the rate of 6.4% for the next quarter. And then in the third quarter, if it still revises to say, for example, 6.2%, then your entire investment in the PPF account will be calculated at the rate of 6.2% for that third quarter. And similarly is for the fourth quarter. So please be aware that the rates of interest which starts from the first quarter need not be constant for the calculation purpose. This is very, very important factor to be understood, because there are many calculators in Google which will try to keep your interest rate constant and give you a projected accumulation in the PPF account to the extent of some X lakhs of rupees, like 65 lakhs, 70 lakhs, sometimes even 1 crore after 30 years, which is totally wrong. Your rates of interest are being revised on a quarterly basis, and you need to make your calculations appropriately to see that there is a realistic projection of your fund at the end of the term. So there's a very important message which I wanted to convey, because I have often seen misleading guidance with regard to the accumulations projected. Okay, one more institutions have not changed the interest rates. This is LIC of India. Jeevan Akshay 7 continues to give 5.3% yearly. This is a scheme which is a single payment or a lump sum investment from where you try to get a pension immediately. That is why it is called immediate annuity or immediate pension. This is for J option. You can refer to the LIC website for details of what is J option, and the interest rate is whatever I have displayed here is for yearly interest rate and not for monthly interest rate. So this has not been revised, and now with the revision of the bank rate of interest, and probably after June, this could also be revised. The other scheme, which is the Jeevan Surabhi scheme, which is a deferred annuity, the deferment period can be from 1 year to 12 years. This has also not been changed. It ranges from 5.4% with a deferment of 1 year to 10.25% yearly if you are deferring it for 12 years, remain unchanged as of now. The other pension scheme, which is regular investment deferred annuity scheme, which is Jeevan Umang, continues to give an yield of 5.39%. So these are the three schemes in LIC which has not changed yet and may not be changing for the next quarter. However, a disclaimer is this also can change at any point of time depending upon the discretion of the LIC of India authorities. So there are two institutions which have not changed. One is the post office, the other is the LIC of India institution. So people who want to invest in the retirement planning, who want to invest their money for a pension, can please make their arrangements to invest in post office and LIC as whatever their goals are and whatever their needs are. Friends, this is what I just wanted to convey, because this is a very important information to be announced today for people to be cautious, giving a window of 3 months for them to make investments in these institutions. Thank you for watching this, and if you like this video, which is informative, if you find it is very informative, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. You'll get regular videos on these financial and investment ideas and more on motivation as well. Thank you. All the best. Happy investing.